Junk food supper.
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 Junk food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food
Welcome
supper.
to Junk Food Supper, episode 124. This is the internet's #1 deer hunting podcast. And God bless this American shit show, because we'll be reviewing The Deer Hunter this week. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Byron, joined as always by Perky Beantown Bowman. Up there in the 559, what's going on, Bowman?
Hey, I'm just putting together my A&W drink, my root beer, my ceremonial traditional podcasting root beer.
You're putting it together, you say?
Well, I put the lid on the cup, and I thought that it was loud, so I just wanted to explain that if it picked up on the microphone. But if it didn't, then I sound like a weirdo talking about root beer over here.
I thought you maybe had a separate can of A's and a separate can of W's over there, and you were maybe one of those little mixing sticks that you see behind the bar.
I'm like a pharmacist, like actually like putting the soda together from scratch.
Oh, yeah. You've got your own mix of phosphates back there. You know, you're going to make me a Ricky.
Yeah. What a crazy time when like if you wanted a soda, you would have to go to the fucking doctor, basically.
Yeah, a guy that went to school for it, you know?
Absolutely insane.
You try to send it back, you're like, this is a little bit flat. The guy's like, dude, I went to school for 4 years for this. What the fuck are you talking about? Show me your degree.
Very
But
strange.
no, it sounds delicious, by the way, the root beer.
Root beer is pretty good. I like a good A&W. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's very hot up here. It's probably hard to concentrate. I'm probably going to go on a lot of weird tangents because my brain is melting from the heat. But outside of that,
Oh, man, I know all about this. My guess is that you know, as much as you might be suffering from heat-related exhaustion, you probably still got air conditioning available to you, right?
I do have an air conditioner.
Man, that sounds nice.
What, your air conditioner's broken?
We're back in the land of no AC down here in Monterey Park.
How is this possible? It's like very hot where you are, right?
Yeah, it's like 93 degrees today, and I think it's day 4 of no AC. It's not that the AC is broken, but yet again, we're dealing with the fallout of this Lineage Logistics warehouse fire and the 300 million pounds of rotting food that smells terrible.
Wait, what's that got to do with the air conditioner?
Well, if you turn on the AC, it sucks in all this air from outdoors that smells like burning garbage at best.
What?
Mostly it smells like rotting maggots.
Now, what's Governor Newsom doing about this situation? Have you talked to him?
Well, it's a predominantly Mexican neighborhood, so we're doing absolutely nothing about it.
Well, yeah, that kind of sounds, yeah, that sounds about right.
I think they're too busy like working on proposals to rename Cesar Chavez Avenue, which, you know, they probably should now because the guy turned out maybe to be a scumbag, but that's the most attention they're going to give to Boyle Heights.
Yeah. Well,
Like I said, day 4, I think, of no AC. Day 2 of I can't hold down food. I'm not eating anymore. So I think after the
because
show
it smells
tonight,
so bad?
because it smells so bad. So I think after the show tonight, I'm going to take a shower because I think I smell bad from all this garbage fire. And then I'm going to drive as far as I can in whatever direction seems like it'll get me away from the smell quickly. And then go eat like a cheeseburger at In-N-Out Burger.
Well, why don't you just like get out of town for a couple of days? Like, why not go down to Palm Springs and enjoy yourself and not have to deal with
maybe
all
I
this
should.
nonsense?
Yeah, maybe I should. But I got all these deer hunters to watch. You know, I got this big podcast. I got a co-host.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
My man's got
that is the number one
responsibilities
cause
in
of
life.
not leaving town.
Yeah.
Well,
We all remember what our lives were like pre-podcast. We all took a bunch of vacations. We met new and interesting people. We did things, you know. We were kind of globetrotters in a sense.
that's true. I climbed Mount Everest every year for the longest time. And then Kevin
Yeah.
called me up one day talking about, you want to do a podcast? No, I haven't climbed one single mountain.
No, dude, you had to hand it over to Darby Allin. Doesn't make sense that he's getting up there. Dude's like barely even tall enough to be a Sherpa, let alone a mountaineer.
He doesn't do a podcast. He's got extra time to figure it out.
Now, speaking of podcasts, I heard on the Discord for our podcast that A24 has been fucking things up.
Oh, A24 are villains. Like, not only did they release that Everything All the Time All at Once movie that fucking sucked, and stole 2.5 hours of my life. Now they're doing crazier shit.
About two-sided dildos or whatever?
Yeah, that movie everybody said was like super profound, where like a lady had hot dog hands and got slapped in the face with a dildo. Yeah, it was super profound fucking
profound and
movie.
Edgy. I mean, it was groundbreakingly edgy to have a dildo in a film.
Yeah. It was a 2-hour long Rick and Morty episode. Everybody's telling me it's profound. Great. Not even a good Rick and Morty episode, like one of the bad ones, like, Anatomy Park, like that one. That level of Rick and Morty.
We all know what you
Season
mean.
6 Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course, Season 6, yeah. One of
you know how bad Season 6 is?
It's one of the least good, certainly.
Yeah. Any Justin Roiland-less Rick and Morty. But anyway, so outside of just making a monoculture out of independent film for the last 15 years or whatever they've done, releasing the same fucking movie over and over. Now, all right, so we talked about the Backrooms a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we talked about how the JPEG was probably its best incarnation.
I don't remember saying that, but other people may have had that weird opinion.
Okay.
But I mean, the JPEG may not even exist anymore, apparently. So we kind of discussed like how weird it is with like these movies, or like, like movies that are based on like creepypastas, like the Backrooms and Slender Man, and like now there's a whole slew of new ones coming out, and like kind of like the idea of who owns this idea, like, because the Backrooms is based on a picture, like you mentioned, and then everybody on Earth came up with like different parts of it, like, some guy on the Something Awful forum comes up with, the idea of it being ever expanding, and somebody else over here on a creepypasta Reddit comes up with the idea that you can teleport into it, and then somebody else makes a short film that introduces monsters into it, and somebody else does this, and it all becomes the Backrooms lore, and kind of like who owns it and who can, like, can anybody claim ownership of this thing? But it turns out A24 is trying to, because somebody on Twitter today mentioned that they have a Redbubble page, and they were selling like something based on the wallpaper in the original Backrooms photo, and A24 had a copyright striked and had them take it down, despite the fact that this predates the movie, like this guy's Redbubble page. So turns out A24 is trying to own the concept of the Backrooms, despite the fact that the A24 movie came out, probably like 5, 6, 7 years after the concept existed, and nobody even knows who owns that original photo. I mean, it seems like it should be his, if anybody's, but
or even
not.
owns the original wallpaper. Like, I'm sure that maybe it's like Sherman Williams or something, like some wallpaper company out there, presumably came up with that design. If anybody gets money out of this, it should be, whatever guy made up that cool floral pattern that we all love so much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if, like, what the legalities are. Like, if you can just, like, pick a wallpaper and put it in your movie, like, without licensing it, like, you must be able to, because it's just wallpaper. But maybe not. I mean, yeah, that guy could be the
I think it depends on.
owner.
Actually, I think there are like some wallpapers that are, legally protected as IP, as bizarre as that sounds. But in any case, it's not A24's property.
Absolutely not. So nor is the original photo.
Nor even the name Backrooms, because beyond the fact that you can't copyright a name of a film, I mean, Backrooms, the name, the concept, everything predated the movie.
Yeah, the name certainly did. I mean, I think, I love Kane Parsons, the director of the movie and the director of the short films and stuff, but like, I mean, I haven't watched all the short films, but I think the only part of the lore outside of the movie that he introduced is like that there's monsters in there. I think that's like kind of his contribution. Like, so yeah, I mean, he owns, outside of making very effective short films, and in my opinion, like a very effective movie. Like, yeah, like all of it's stolen.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I don't even think that the concept of monsters in there was his. And I'm not an expert on this, but I think that there were posts originally of JPEGs of empty rooms where like the text would describe what kind of monster would live in there. But the idea of the image is that the image contains no, people or monsters or anything, that it's just a desolate space.
Yeah.
And I think Kane Parsons' contribution was like, well, what if we make, the subtext text or whatever, which he carried over into every aspect of the movie.
Yeah, that's very much in the movie. I think he might, like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm no backrooms historian either, but he might have introduced like the idea of it being like a government sort of a thing too. Like,
I think so.
Watching the backrooms, but
which is debatably the least effective part of the whole thing.
Yeah, that's possible. Right? That is possible.
I mean, that whole ending is garbage, right? Where it's like, oh, here's the explanation. We're in some kind of government, maybe agency. We had an MRI machine. Like none of it makes sense.
Yeah, they tell some of it kind of like subtly throughout. Like, you see like Mark Duplass's like newspapers and stuff like that. I think that works a lot better than him coming out and just saying kind of, I mean, he doesn't necessarily say what it is, but he kind of says like how
he does the Matrix architect scene. He sits down Neo and tells him the whole plot.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like the aspect of that I like about it is like they're like a company that makes MRI machines and like they just accidentally stumbled upon the backrooms. Like, I think that's interesting. But yeah, the kind of like the thing where they monitor it all the time and blah, blah, blah. I don't care for necessarily, but
have we heard from Kane Parsons since all of this erupted? Like, is he in favor of suing this tiny little Redbubble guy?
Not that I have seen, but I don't follow him on Twitter.
And it's also such bullshit, considering that this is all wrapped around a franchise that's all about empowering these small creators on the internet. And that's effectively what this Redbubble guy is, right?
Yeah.
I guess it was cool when Kane did it, but this guy wants to sell whatever he's trying to sell, an iPhone case or whatever. Can't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But you still love the studio.
No, I don't like A24. I think what they're doing is rude. Rude as hell.
What can you tell me about all of the recent controversies regarding the Terrifier franchise? Have you been tracking on this? About any of this?
I mean, not really. I think they're getting sued by somebody. Oh, yeah. They're getting like sued by like the people who distributed the original short film or the original anthology movie or something like that. Like, I think those people say that they have a right to the character.
Okay. Is that all? Isn't there also something where maybe like one of the ladies that got naked in one of these movies is saying that she wasn't informed ahead of time that she would be naked in the movie?
Oh, I didn't see anything about that.
There's that, and there might even be more, because I was looking at Reddit today and there was like a post where the whole like gist of the post was just, after this latest news about Terrifier, I could never support the franchise. And then like 100 comments that are like, I completely agree, but like nobody clarifying what the context was.
Yeah, man, I hate Twitter for so many reasons, but that's the biggest reason. Is like, it seems like the things that get the most traction on that website now, like it's like a trend where like people will put like, they'll repost something, like, and be like, are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? And it gets 100,000 fucking likes and reblogs. It's like this weird vague posting thing. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why the algorithm likes that so much, but yeah, I can't get any fucking information on that website because.
Well, it's precisely because you can't get the information that the algorithm thinks that you're interested. Because I spent more time than I usually would looking in this thread trying to find information. If it had the information I wanted, I would have gotten it quickly and moved on. But Reddit's
That's a good
algorithm
point.
is thinking like, oh, he loves this thread, dude.
He spent 20 minutes on this thread.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We're doomed. I guess until we can let the algorithm read our emotions, if it could distinguish that I was, reading these comments, but I was not happy about it, maybe it would have not recommended these kind of stories to me in the future.
Yeah. Well, that'll happen soon enough, I'm sure.
I will say tangentially, I have heard from other people, and I'll try to be as vague as possible, who have worked with that Damien guy,
Mhm.
and they've had very, very negative things to say about him. So
Is that a fact?
doesn't surprise me.
Well, like he's a butthole?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Well,
just keeping
the
it
way
vague, completely non-actionable legally. But the impression I get from conversations I've had on very non-specific matters is I wouldn't want to work with this guy.
well,
Not that he was offering.
I mean, the way he photographs a chainsaw going into an anus, though. I mean, I'll forgive a lot
Chef's kiss,
If you're gonna-
according to Bowman.
if you're putting that on film. You can be a jerk. That's how I feel about Hollywood.
I'm sure that he's going to get another chance to do that. He's been making money with these things, so
Yeah,
it's really all
Yeah.
that matters at the end of the day.
yeah. I think they're making part 4 now.
All right, well, what
Well.
else is new, Bowman?
Speaking of movies that they're making,
Yeah.
I saw The Evil Dead.
Oh, they made that.
They
But-
made The Evil Dead burn.
But will they make others after what seemed to be kind of a weak opening?
Well, I think the next one's already in the works, so it would probably take a lot to cancel it. But I mean, it's like a little independent. I mean, well, I don't know how independent. It's like somewhat independent, like low budget horror movie. So I mean, it's gonna make its money.
They probably just shot it in a cabin with like a crew of 4 people for like $100,000 or something.
I mean, it's probably a little bit more than that, but
Yeah.
Similar.
Well, I'm
similar.
sure that the results are on the screen. I'm sure that however many multiples of the original price tag of the first movie, this movie will be that much better, right?
Well,
Then why would they even spend all these millions, Bowman?
what else are they going to do with these millions?
Well, fair enough.
Someone's gotta
they
use
could
them.
they could go after Redbubble sellers, invest in
Yeah.
lawyers.
They can sue everybody making Evil Dead artwork on Etsy, I guess.
Yeah. Take down my DeviantArt account where I've got all these Ash Deadite romantic fan art things. What do you call that when you're shipping characters but graphically? Is there a word for that?
If there is, I think there is. Yeah,
I guess
because
would it be Rule 34? Is that how I would want to refer to my fan art of Ash making out with Deadites?
no, I think that's different. No, there was a South Park episode about this because South Park fans ship like Craig and Tweak, I think. So they did a whole episode about it. Now I forget the name of the word, but yeah, there is a word for it. I'd have to look
Okay,
it up.
well, I'm doing those, and theoretically, I could be taken down by whatever studio has the rights to Evil Dead.
That would be Sam Raimi personally. He'll come for you.
Oh, okay. I mean, if I'm going to be taken down, might as well be by one of the best. Hopefully, he comes after me with that cool camera angle that we all love.
Yeah, that's how he gets you. Just you've been served cease and desist paperwork because the camera finds you. And,
Is
like,
that
the wind
top
kicks up.
3, director camera technique associations? You got Hitchcock Vertigo, you got De Palma Split Diopter, and you got Raimi shaky ladder on wheels shot or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be like those 3 probably. You've also got like the extreme close up in 70 millimeter IMAX that Christopher Nolan does.
Oh, yeah. Of a man adjusting his lapel pin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't. I'm trying to think like if Spielberg has one. I mean, I feel like the camera move that Spielberg's most known for is just stealing the Hitchcock one.
Yeah, yeah. He
Not that
does the
there's anything
vertigo
wrong
zoom
with
on the
that.
beach in Jaws.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
That's
his
probably
big-
his best camera move, like in his career, is the zoom in on the beach in Jaws of the sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good one. I saw a good Hitchcock zoom the other day. Now I forget what I think it was like I forget what movie I was watching, but it was like a guy sees like a big butt or something, and then they Hitchcock zoom in on him. I forget what movie it was.
It was the Baby Got Back
But it was a
music
good
video.
one. Yeah. But yeah, I liked The Evil Dead. I thought it was a fun little movie.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, it was fun, but I heard it was no fun at all. It was all about trauma and grief, family issues.
I mean, there's certainly a metaphor for like domestic abuse in it. But it is fun. It's the funnest of the non-Raimi movies. Like those first two are like, I mean, especially that 2013 one, like it's like no humor, no levity whatsoever, no black comedy at all. And this one has that. Like it feels like it's still like has like it feels like it's still going for like that kind of like super extreme, gross, unsettling feel of the first, but they throw some Evil Dead 2 kind of slapstick silliness into it.
When you say black comedy, you mean like How High, or you mean like Friday, or?
Yeah, like it was more like next Friday.
Okay.
It takes place
Set primarily in Rancho Cucamonga.
That's exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
It's one of the more notable things about that movie.
I feel like that's the only notable thing about that movie.
What else did you see? Because surely you could have seen more than one featured this past week, and I think that's probably what a Bowman did.
Well, actually, you might be disappointed to hear. I thought that I had tickets to see the end of Evangelion in the theater last night, but it's next Wednesday. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
How
I was so
embarrassing.
hyped up. I know. I was like, man, can't wait to see this movie. I really like this Evangelion. Never seen the end on the big screen. This is going to be a delight. It's going to be fun to see this with a bunch of otaku sons of bitches. And then I was like on the way to the theater, and I was like, wait a minute. What is this date? The 22nd. That's not right. And then so I didn't get to see the end of Evangelion.
And that's when you made the game time switch over to Evil Dead, or you just turned around and went home?
Oh no! I saw Evil Dead opening night a few days ago. But I did make the game time decision to just see Supergirl again.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, Jennifer hadn't
what?
seen it. So. Yeah, so she was like, "Oh, I didn't see that Supergirl yet."
Man, you're all in on DC now.
I mean, it's like a pretty mediocre movie, but she didn't want to see the Minions. That's what I would have switched over to.
Okay. Understandable.
Trey Parker's in it. I gotta support my guy.
Yeah, of course. All right, well, glad that somebody's out there supporting Supergirl, because they actually probably appreciated your box office dollars. James Gunn might tweet at you personally to thank you.
Yeah, I probably doubled the box office for that evening.
Yeah, you should probably log into Twitter this week and check it out.
Yeah. What about you? Have you gone to the movie theater?
No, you know what? I probably should have. Presumably there is a movie theater that is outside of the stench zone, and I could have escaped this bog of eternal stench for at least a couple hours, but I didn't. Sadly did not.
Well, the wind blows east. You should go to the Chinese theater. That's west of Boyle Heights, right? So you can be happy up
you
there.
think I want to traverse Sunset Boulevard today? Have you seen what happened in West Hollywood?
No, what happened in West Hollywood?
There was a 100-year-old water main, and it's like the main water main for West Hollywood that runs under Sunset that exploded. And there's like a giant sinkhole, and like all of West Hollywood is flooded. And it's just, everything's a nightmare in LA. There's a big fire in Eagle Rock today. A couple houses
What? I love Eagle Rock.
I know. Hopefully your Airbnb didn't burn. A couple of them did burn, so.
You're going to have to move to Bakersfield. You need to get to safety.
I know. That might not be far enough, man. I don't even know where I should go at this point. I think I made a mistake leaving Easter Island. That was probably the safest I ever was on this podcast. Back when I was podcasting from Easter Island. There was nary a threat, man. A couple wild dogs, that was it.
Yeah, you might have to go back.
Yeah, we'll see. See if I can catch a raft down there.
Well, speaking of going back,
we have to.
I've got a segment here.
Okay.
This segment is about going back.
Back in time?
It is.
Or back
in time.
Okay.
I'm trying to find paper because I need to keep score, if that gives you any idea of what kind of segment we're going to play a game here in honor of the historic 124th episode of the Food Supper. We're going to play a game, and we're going to find out how well you, Sean Byron, know the Junk Food Supper podcast.
That's real entrapment.
I mean, it kind of is.
Okay, all right, let's see how well I know it.
So, on letterboxd.com, if you make a list, which we have a list of all the movies on Junk Food Supper, more or less, except for that Shrek movie that we had to replace with the real Shrek because it got taken down.
Oh yeah, did we mention that on air or was that off air last week? That Letterboxd is playing games again. They are deleting important films from their website, including Shrek Retold, which I think is a real travesty.
Yeah, it fucks up our goddamn list.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, hundreds of people worked on that thing. Everybody loved it. You know, like, what's the harm? And I mean, it's not like some weird, like, dickhead troll move to put on a cool movie that people like. Like, I don't get what we all gain by removing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially when there's, like, episodes of TV shows on there and, like, Bills Above movies and...
Yeah, Royal Rumble 2002.
Yeah, every wrestling pay-per-view is on there. But yeah, this movie... Yeah, Letterboxd has a hard-on for, like, keeping down movies that are made for YouTube. Like, I think I've watched the channel Awesome movies, like, 5 times because Letterboxd keeps deleting them. And so I have to, like, so whenever anybody, like, re-puts it on Letterboxd, I have to watch it again to, like, log it, which is probably a symptom of OCD. But
you can just re-log it and change the date. You could, like, post-date it, right?
I'll let my therapist know that you've suggested that.
I've post-dated diary entries on Letterboxd by like 30 years. Like, I've recorded viewing events from the distant past.
That is wild. I could maybe do that.
You can, if you have receipts. Like, I had a receipt for a DVD that I bought, and I knew that I watched it the day that I bought it. I'm like, I'm just going to throw this in here. That'll be fun.
I mean, I do know that I watched Freddy vs. Jason in the theater on August 15th, 2003, the day it came out.
Might as well log it.
I think I will. It's a good idea. But anywho, so because we have a list, they give you like a little stats button now that tells you all the stats pertaining to the movies on the list. So I'm going to take a look. Don't you dare open it, Sean.
Okay.
I'm going to
You're
ask
presuming
you
that I have not memorized all of these facts and figures.
I'm presuming that. I'm hoping that you maybe looked at it one time and then forgot
it's
that
quite a presumption.
this aspect existed.
I think I did look at this once a long time ago, but I barely remember it.
Okay, good. That's good to hear.
And it probably wasn't even for this. If I'm being honest, I probably looked at the junk food dinner list. Kind of a more impressive list.
That is a pretty wild list. Yeah, I do like looking at the junk food dinner ones because we've got the big one, and then I've slowly been going back and like doing lists for like just each year of junk food dinner. So it's fun to see. You see the trends and the stats for all of those.
Yeah.
But all right, so I got some questions here.
Okay.
So some of them are planned out, some of them not so much. I might just like make up some on the fly. But, you'll probably do good at the game nonetheless.
Yeah, despite my, sleep-deprived, food-deprived, cold air-deprived state, I'm sure I'm going to excel at this.
I think so. So, all right. So according to Letterboxd, there are a few years here. There are 4 years that are tied for having the most amount of movies from that year featured on the show.
Okay.
With 5, they're tied with 5. 4 years have 5 movies. Can you name one of the years?
Well, I feel like I know that the year 1978 was picked at least once because, the Deer Hunter is 1978.
Mm-hmm,
and
that's true.
I think it's my sweet spot. I think my picks tend to hover around 1978. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
1978 is one of the years. You got it.
I think there was also that Japanese Star Wars ripoff, 78.
I was going to ask you if you could name 2 of the movies, but you've got 2 of the movies. You're doing really good at this game so far. But yeah, the Message from Space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think you've picked 4 of these movies, and I picked 1 from 1978.
Is Lake of Illusions? No, that's later. That's like 1980 or something.
Yeah, that's not on here.
I don't know.
For 2 points,
Yeah?
can you name the movie I picked from 1978?
No, I don't think I could. No. Not in a million
It's-
years.
Cyclone, the Rene Cardona movie.
Oh, I really like that movie. I would never remember
That is
that was 78, though. To me, that
Yeah,
feels like
seems
a
like-
77.
Kind of.
There is a distinction there. But,
A little bit.
Okay.
But it's like Spanish or Mexican or something, so maybe he was a little late to the trend, to the 77 trend. Because
I
he's
think
so
we
far
need
from
to
Hollywood.
do more Rene Cardona movies because I got a few of them over here, and I didn't watch them yet, but I flipped through them, and I was seeing some wild scenes. So I'm definitely interested to see some more of this guy's movies.
Me too. We've watched 4 over the course of the show, and I feel like I've pretty much loved all of them.
Yeah, he made a bunch, so we won't run out
Yeah.
anytime soon, I don't think.
That's true. I think a lot of them are kind of hard to find, and I think only a fraction of them are in English or subtitled.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
we live in a golden age of fan subs these days,
That is true. Okay, so we got more. We got more stuff here.
Okay.
We have done many different types of genres. Can you, according to Letterboxd's criteria for what is a genre, can you tell me what genre of movie you think we've done the most?
Okay, and we're talking big genres. We're not talking micro genres or nano genres or, nothing like that, right?
No, these nano genres are weird. Maybe I'll try to think up a question for those stupid things. But no, these are just normal, the big ones.
You're at the video store. Which aisle you walking down? I would guess action is probably our most common genre.
Actually, action is number 7.
What in the
19
fuck?
action movies.
How is it so low? Do I have more guesses, or I don't know how these games work?
I'll give you one more guess.
Could it be comedy?
It is comedy. 43 films we've done are comedies.
It's because we love to laugh.
We do love to laugh.
Even Kevin laughed.
I feel like this
Okay.
is an easy one. This next one. But you...
Wait, well, hold on. Back to genres,
Okay.
though. What's number 2 on genres? Is it horror?
It is horror, and then drama, and then thriller, and then sci-fi.
I feel like that is kind of our, and also JFD's angle a little bit, is like we're the horror podcast that doesn't cover horror as much as it should,
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I feel like I think that was something, I mean, in the earliest days, like not like the super earliest days, but like year 1 and 2 and 3, like I feel like we were, like I think we had to like curb how many horror movies we were doing, because I think we were like, we don't want to be pigeonholed as being a horror podcast, even though I feel like the people who listen to the show are like, just do more horror, guys. What are you doing?
Well, you keep doing these Criterion collections like you're some kind of film professor.
Yeah, I always wonder, like what the listeners think, like about like, you know, like if like what genres they want, and then like also like, because it seems a little eclectic judging from like the voicemail folks and like the folks who are vocal, but I know that they're not the same as like the people who listen silently, but like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm always curious about that. I'm always curious what people want out of the listening.
Send us a junk mail. Let us know.
Let us know. Put a comment on our blog.
Also, let us know is what Taco Bell is saying this week. Because of the explosive diarrhea associated with lettuce.
Absolutely.
They took it off their menu, you know.
I'm also always curious if people want us to talk about movies that they know and love, or if they want us to talk about movies that they've never seen and like want us to like find movies for them. It's probably like 50-50 among people, like I would think, but
yeah,
that's another thing I get curious about.
I also feel like it's almost certain that when we review a movie that we don't like, it's going to be more entertaining than when we review one that we do like. But at the same time, you know, I mean, we're people. We got feelings, you know. If you prick me, Bowman, do I not bleed? So I can't be watching the worst movies every single week of the show, you know?
That's true. Alternately, I can't be bringing some of my favorite movies to the show. What if you guys don't like it? You guys make fun of the movie Signs by M. Night Shyamalan? I can't handle that. I don't want to listen to that.
Shelby loves it.
I mean, Shelby likes that movie.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
All right. Well, okay, so this next question, I'm going to amend it a little bit because it would have been too easy. But of the countries we've done, clearly the USA is number one.
In more ways than one, really. I mean, not just in terms of numerical count, but quality and all measurements.
I agree. Number 2 is probably easily guessable, but number 3, that's the one I need you to pinpoint. Who is the third?
Number 2 is going to be Japan, you know, because as we know,
I'm a fan of Japanese movies.
Yeah.
And then number 3, I would think would be England. We did Peeping Tom. It's one British. And I'm sure that we've done some other Britishes, right?
We have.
I just know when I look at my own country distribution, it tends to be US, Japan, England, and then I think China is usually after that.
Yeah. I can tell you that China's not even on this list, so we're fucking up.
Yeah.
We're screwing over our Chinese
we fucked up. I need to bring some of those scary Shaw Brothers movies to the show.
Yeah. But yeah, you would be correct. It would be the UK. We've done a lot of their movies.
Which other ones did we do from those salt penises over there?
We did Shock Treatment, Triangle, At the Earth's Core, Hot Fuzz, Tomorrow, Peeping Tom, Frenzy, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, The Lobster.
Some of these feel more British than others, you know?
Yeah. I think like the way that
is that British?
I think the way they gauge these is just like if like the production studios that had a hand in it. So like if it's like a British American co-production, then like that counts, which would probably explain like The Lobster and The Deer Hunter. They're also counting.
The Deer Hunter, really? That's interesting. Yeah. Shot entirely in America and Thailand, but somehow it's British.
Yeah, I think that's how they gauge it. It's like where the money comes from.
Okay. All right. Well, the money went to me in that round because I ID'd England.
That is true. All right. So I'm going to ask you about these stupid themes and nanogenres here.
Okay.
I hate these things are so worthless. I don't even know why Letterboxd does this. Well, I know why Letterboxd does these. It's for some kind of dumbass algorithm. The same way that Netflix proudly presents to you their dumbass algorithm keywords, and you'll like click on a movie and it'll be like, this movie is thrilling, Americana, like 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 all these dumb adjectives.
Seems like you really like heartfelt historical westerns. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, doesn't it cover most westerns?
Yeah, it's dumb. But all right, I don't even know how to phrase the question like this necessarily, but we have 14 of our movies have had the biggest theme. Can you guess what that theme would be according to Letterboxd?
So this is the theme that you've seen most frequently in the movies covered on Junk Food Supper.
Yes. It's actually...
Is it like just one word, or is it like a total like jumble of words where it's like almost a sentence?
It's sort of, yeah, it's kind of like the latter. It's technically three things, although they're sort of all words for the same thing.
Is undead one of them?
Undead is one of them, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I get that, whatever that, it's like something, is it like terrifying or something, and then undead, or... I know that I get an undead one at the top of my own personal list all the time.
It's horror, the undead, and monster classics.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's my number one nano genre as well. So, cool nano genre. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. All right, going back to the years. I've only got a couple more here for you. Going back to the years. Since the year 1965.
Yeah.
There have been 2 gaps where we have not done movies from 3 consecutive years in a row. And that's happened twice.
Up through which year?
From 1965 to 2026.
Wow. Okay.
Like, there's been a couple of years in there that we have not done a movie from, but there's 2 gaps where we've not done 3 years in a row. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would think one of those gaps would have to be fairly recent, like in the 2015 to 2018 range or something like that. Is there one that's around there?
It's close. It's close. I was gonna see. I guess I was gonna give you a point if you could name one of the years, but you're close. But no cigar. The most recent one is 2010, 2011, and 2012.
Okay. And then in terms of the older ones...
Yeah. Can you get one of those?
Ooh, I feel like we've covered the 70s pretty extensively. And you would think that we would have covered the 80s. It would be weird if there was a 3-year gap in the 80s. So I'm going to have to go... I don't know, I mean, 65 through 69, I think we've also covered. I guess I would go 81... No. I guess I would go 83, 4, 5.
That is incorrect, although we have not done any movies from 1983.
Okay.
But as far as the 3-year gap, it's 2004, 2005, 2006.
Oh, okay. So they were both recent then.
Yeah, both pretty recent. Although, although one of the years that has the most movies is 2023, oddly enough. So yeah.
How
like,
bizarre.
We don't do anything too recent unless it's like right now. Basically.
Well, I think that's for our SEO purposes, you know?
Yeah, it's fun to
get
talk
those
about
YouTube
movies.
clicks.
All right, there have been 4 actors that we've done 3 of their movies.
Yeah.
I will give you a point for every one of them that you can name.
4 actors who we've done 3 of their movies.
Yeah, tying them for the most, appearances on the show.
I think we've only done I don't know, though. This is tricky. This is a very tricky question that you're asking me.
One of these I would never guess. Like, I think one of them, maybe two of them, you'll find obvious in hindsight if you don't get them. One of them I don't think you would ever get. Or one of them you might get, maybe, possibly. I might have gotten him because I like this actor. I don't know if you are aware of him.
What about Sonny Chiba?
Sonny Chiba's not on the list.
God damn it.
Oh, actually, we've done two of his movies, so he's on the list.
Yeah, I was thinking of him in Message from Space, and then I thought we did we do Street Fighter or something? Or maybe that was JFD.
We did Message from Space and Blackjack, Visitor in the Eye.
What about Sister Street Fighter, Etsuko Shihomi?
No, I'm afraid she's not one of his tied ones.
God damn it. It's not Vic Morrow. Just thinking of the entire cast of Message from Space. I don't know, man. They're Americans or what?
I think all these people are American, yeah.
All these people. So that was a gender neutral way to frame it.
Yeah. Two of them are men and two are women. I'll give you that part.
I think this is our first foray into Meryl Streepdom. So I don't think it was Streeparella. So who would it be? Linnea Quigley?
Somehow not Linnea Quigley.
She's probably on the JFD most watched list.
Oh yeah, if we did this with JFD, I bet she'd be... Her and Corey Feldman, I bet, are numbers 1 and 2 on that list.
All right, lay it on me.
All right. I'll give you the one that no one could have guessed. Ritunya Alda, who was in Hi Mom, Pat Garrett, and Billy the Kid, and Deer Hunter.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
Me neither. Just some lady. Stephen McHattie, who I like. I don't know if you know who he is, so I don't know if you could have got this. He was in Call Me, Death Valley, and Theodore Rex.
I don't recognize the name.
Kathy Ireland.
Oh yeah, that
was
guy.
in Loaded
Steve
Weapon
McHattie.
and 2 Journey to the Center of the Earth movies.
Was she in 2 of them? I only remember her in Alien from LA.
Well, she's an alien from LA, and then also Journey to the Center of the Earth, the other Albert Pune movie, which they were made at the same time, so they're kind of the same movie,
okay.
I think, right? Or they're sequels, and she has like a cameo or something in that one.
They're all kind of the same movie, let's be honest, Bowman.
And then the last one that you're going to kick yourself over, you should have known this one, Harry Dean Stanton.
Oh my goodness, celebrating his 100th birthday soon. I mean, R.I.P., but still.
R.I.P. Yeah, the Cowboy and the Frenchman, Pat Garrett, and Wiseblood.
Yeah, July 14th, so actually a couple days ago, turned 100 years old. Or he would have.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Well, no points for that round, but maybe you'll make some points up for this. Can you name? I'll give you 1 point for each one.
Okay.
Can you name the Dick Miller movies that we've done?
Name the Dick Miller
Everybody knows
movies that
Dick
we've done. So we've never done Gremlins, much to my dismay.
We did on
And
the other show.
are we including JFT or no?
No. You made it seem like we
No.
Like
We
no
never
one
did that
said
guy, Dick Miller,
nope.
the documentary about him. So what have we done? He must have been in at least one of these journeys to the center of the earth, right?
You would think so. He seems like the kind of guy that would have been in one.
He was probably down there, in one of the caves, just uncredited, maybe didn't even show up on camera, but I like to think that he was there at least.
Yeah.
Dick Miller movies that we've done. We've done how many?
We've done 2 of them.
Only 2.
One of these is a little tricky because, well, this is a big clue, but it was animated.
Oh, It's not in the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. And I think that was the other show anyways. Many years ago. I don't know, dude. You gotta lay it on me.
He was in Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight.
Of course he was.
And he was in Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Okay. I suppose that counts.
Okay, now here's one that might be kind of easy.
Okay.
There are 2 directors that we've done 3 movies of, tying them for being the most frequent directors. Who are those directors?
Well, David Lynch, we've only done The Cowboy and the Frenchman on Supper, I think, right?
Can't confirm or deny that.
Have we done another movie from the Message from Space director? What is it? Kinji Fukasaku or whatever?
I will say we have not done that. I will confirm we have not done. He's not on this list of directors that have popped up more than once.
What about Beelzebub?
Yeah, I think we've only done one of his. Although it's getting into summer territory, so it's possible he'll show up again.
Now these are film directors, people that have directed movies.
Yeah, they've
not
directed
just
some
like
films.
Not people that have like posted film-related things on Redbubble.
No, these people have released movies theatrically and not just on YouTube, so they're allowed to be on Letterboxd.
Well, maybe give me some of the film titles, and then that'll help me narrow it down.
I mean, if I give you their film titles, you'll know exactly who they are.
Could it be Francis Ford Coppola?
No,
we just did with the
he's not on this
conversation.
list.
I don't know, Bowman. You're torturing me with these difficult questions.
I'm surprised you're not even guessing people who have shown up less than 3 times to make them the top guy. But all right, if you're stumped, I will give you the answer.
mean, De
you're gonna kick
Palma.
yourself.
I don't think that we've done multiple De Palmas, though, have we?
Oh, we have.
Oh,
We did High Mom, we did Snake Eyes, and we did Body Double. He's one of them.
Okay. All right. Well, then there you go. Oh yeah, man, I forgot about it. Oh, we did Snake Eyes.
I'll count that as a point, even though you were
right.
saying he's not the answer. But I guess that counts.
All
You're
right.
gonna
What
kick
else we
yourself. Yorgos Lanthimos.
got? Oh, he's my ghost.
He's your guy, the lobster, begonia, killing of a sacred deer.
Yeah.
Also, we have done 2 David Lynch's. We did The Cowboy and the Frenchman and The Missing Pieces.
Oh. Oh, damn. Okay. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for 5 points.
Okay.
Down here, way at the bottom.
All the marbles.
All the marbles. You've got 6 points right now. I don't know how many questions I've asked or how many points were available, but that's how many you have. Under the category of original writers, one person who's in the top we've done 4 movies where this person was the original writer. Can you name this person?
Yeah. It would be Jules Verne, right?
That is Jules Verne. We've done
That gotta
4
be.
of his films.
Yeah.
4 of his Center of the Earth movies.
And then probably who's the other guy that did the Hollow Earth books? Edgar Rice Burroughs. Probably he's going to be the next guy to be challenging Jules Verne in terms of original writers for us, because I'm sure that there's going to be more of those Hollow Earth movies that we'll have to do.
I'm sure of it. Dan O'Bannon is in 2nd place because we did a bunch of Alien movies.
And probably, I guess Return of the Living Dead we haven't done on this show, but we will eventually.
Yeah. We could get into some of those bad sequels too.
He's
There's
probably
that
got
weird sequel.
He's probably got OG writer credit on the sequels, I would think.
Yeah, I would think you would have to. But yeah, well, all right. That's the Junk Food Supper stats game. You win. With 11
all right.
points.
Congratulations.
I like it.
Good work.
Well, seeing as we have no junk mails this week, let me just throw a quick trivia question to you. Don't play the applause for the no junk mails. Play the boo drop instead.
I don't have a boo drop. I got this one.
It's already late and I'm so sleepy.
That's what the listeners say when they think about calling in to leave us a voicemail. That's what they say instead.
It's always a welcome drop, the sleepy guy. I've got our YouTube page open here, youtube.com/junkfooddinner. And I wanted to quiz you on what do you think our most viewed videos are? They're primarily movie reviews. I guess let's just we'll just stick to the reviews because we all know that my upload of Devil Lover from 1992, mostly forgotten Hong Kong thriller where really nothing happens. We all know that's number one with 1.2 million views.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
But what about our movie reviews? Which ones do you think garnered the most views? And I guess I'll tell you how many views. But what do you think was popular?
I have a good idea for one that I'm pretty sure is on the list. And that's Cafe Flesh.
Cafe Flesh, number one. 10,597 views.
That is wild. Yeah, people love when we talk about porno.
Yeah. Numbers 2 and 3, also porno.
Also porno. Driller, then, would probably be one.
I don't think I've posted the Driller review yet. I should. I think that will garner a lot of views.
Yeah. Speaking of, on the same topic, there's a YouTuber I like who posts like old-timey porno, but he cuts out all the actual porno and he posts like the stories on YouTube. I forget his name offhand, but there's like one or two guys I follow that do that, and they're doing the Lord's work. I fucking love those people. If I ever learn how to edit things, that might be my new job. What's Devil and Miss Jones 3?
I don't think that's on my uploads yet, but I'll just let you know. It was Bat Pussy.
Oh, duh, obviously, yeah.
With 9,000 views. Night Dreams got almost 8,000 views. But some of the non-porno ones are surprising to me. Dr. Cyclops from 1940 is our number 4 most popular review on YouTube. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Yeah, that's weird.
Angel Guts Red Classroom is after that. DOA Dead or Alive is after that.
Hey, hell yeah. I love that movie.
1,500 views. So it's kind of a crapshoot over there. Porno definitely is the quickest path to views, but some other random stuff will pop off.
All right, we might have to do more porno.
Tomorrow's been garnering views lately, I think because that Blu-ray got announced.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's probably the pro move if you want to get extra views on your podcast, is try and target movies that are about to come out on Blu-ray so that people kind of stumble onto your review.
Yeah, that would be good. I just bought that Stoned Age Blu-ray that just came out. Maybe we should talk about that one day. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have the all the Blue Oyster Cult music intact?
I haven't watched it yet, but I would be shocked if they would put out that Blu-ray without it.
Yeah, considering it is a Blu-ray, so it would be doubly offensive were they to omit the Oyster Cult.
It's terrible. Well, all right.
All right. Well, that was almost almost 2 trivia games. Kind of. We asked questions of each other.
Yeah.
It was something.
Yeah. It was kind of trivia. But you did win, so congratulations again.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, well, seeing as we have no voicemails, I guess now is the time that we'll just take a quick break and then we'll come back to talk about The Deer Hunter. So stick around.
The Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter is controversial from every shown on television. The Deer Hunter. America's private television network, will soon present what may be the most controversial film ever shown on television, The Deer Hunter. It is a strong, powerful film.
I'm going to take you home. You promised me, man. I don't fit. Michael!
It is also a warm, sensitive film.
Oh, Michael!
It is a film that deals frankly and honestly with the subject of war. It's a film that cannot be shown to a general audience without substantial editing. On, however, will show this film, uncut and uncensored, exactly as intended. I know. I helped produce The Deer Hunter.
On is over 50 big shows a month with no commercials for only $22.50 plus installation. Call 583-2200 today.
Robert Deniro.
One shot is what it's all about. Deer has to be taken with one shot.
Meryl Streep.
Oh, Michael!
Christopher Walken.
I love you, baby!
Winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. What's the matter with you? Don't you recognize me?
The Deer Hunter, Tuesday night at 8, only on Channel 11.
Welcome back to Junk Food Supper. The movie on the show this week is The Deer Hunter from 1978. This was directed by Michael Cimino, and it was a fairly controversial movie at the time, although ultimately very successful. It was nominated for 9 Oscars, winning 5, including Best Picture. Notably, this is the 5th of 5 movies that John Cazale appeared in, and all 5 were nominated for Best Picture, and this is the 3rd to actually win Best Picture. That's a pretty impressive run, right?
This dude may have like the best movie batting average of all time. There's one guy who like has only been in Sam Raimi movies, and he's in like most of Sam Raimi movies. I'd say like that guy, because like he's like Sam Raimi's friend probably. That guy and this guy.
You're talking about Ted Raimi.
Well, yeah, or Ted Raimi, I guess. Let's just say Ted Raimi. Ted Raimi and this guy probably have like the 2 best batting averages in Hollywood history.
Yeah. But I mean, beyond like just, the movies, he's great too. He's an incredible actor in these roles.
Yeah.
Love the guy. Yeah. Sad that he died. So, famously, he was very sick with lung cancer when they were shooting this. I think it was difficult for them to even get insurance for the guy. I think John Cazale had to kind of fight for it. Deniro had to fight for it. And Meryl Streep ultimately ended up being cast in the movie just because she was his real life girlfriend at the time. And she wanted to be close to the guy in his final days.
Yeah, that's very sad. I read that after watching the movie.
But side note on this winning Best Picture, this is sort of the original Oscar bait movie. I guess the story is, they made this movie with some sorts of commercial hopes for it, but when they took a look at what Cimino delivered, they're like, oh man, this is a tough sell. Probably audiences are not going to love this thing because it's very challenging. What can we do to kind of spice up this picture? And they came up with the idea, well, if it garners Oscar nominations, that, will probably get people interested in seeing it. And so they put this out in just a couple of theaters, one in New York, one in LA, at the end of 1978 for just like a week or two so that it can qualify for the Oscars. Sure enough, it does get nominated for Oscars. And then later they go for a wide release where people can actually see the thing. But I guess this was the first time that ploy had ever been attempted. And obviously, common now.
Yeah, that's how everything works now. So yeah.
That started here. I guess they also aired it on the Z channel around that time when it was only in a couple theaters before it went wide. And that was also kind of revolutionary to have this movie that was in theaters or kind of not even in theaters yet, playing on TV. But again, that was also a smart play because the Z channel was, I don't know if it was only Los Angeles or just primarily Los Angeles. I think it might have been only Los Angeles had access to the Z channel. And I'm sure that, the Academy block of voters probably comprise a large amount of the viewership of the channel.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this Z channel. Bret Easton Ellis talks about it like all the time on his podcast. He grew up watching it. It was like kind of what curated his tastes and stuff. It seems like it was a pretty cool thing. There's like a documentary about it, I think.
Yeah. Jan Cassavetes put out that Z channel doc probably about 20 years ago. That's really good. That's where I first heard about it, was through the documentary.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because it seemed like a fun thing.
Anyhow, back to The Deer Hunter. This movie stars a young Robert De Niro, just looking like a caged animal with this intense look in his eyes, this young De Niro, playing a small town, steel mining town kind of guy in semi-rural Pennsylvania, together with his buddies, including John Cazale, Christopher Walken, John Savage, and some others, including Meryl Streep. And the story is, well, it starts, in this small town in rural Pennsylvania. We meet these people. We meet, the whole gang. And, there's some wedding action that goes on for quite some time as we get to meet these people. But it's really just kind of about setting up what their lives were like before the Vietnam War. And, a couple of them get called away to the war. I'm not sure if it's clear in the movie whether or not they are drafted or enlisted, but either way, it doesn't really matter. The end result is that they get shipped off.
Yeah, I think they all volunteer.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're drafted. I think that they volunteer.
It seems like they might be the kinds of people who would volunteer. These are very patriotic type people. They seem to have a lot of pride in their country. And anyhow, it seems like perhaps the war was not exactly what they were expecting. They get over there pretty quickly. It seems as if De Niro has snapped and he's become maybe a kind of a different person. The groups of guys are split up for a bit of time, but are reunited in like a prison camp scenario where their Viet Cong captors are forcing them, the American GIs, to play Russian roulette in what is probably the movie's most famous scene. Now, you were familiar with that scene from this movie, right?
All I knew about this movie was that they play Russian roulette. Like, I didn't know anything about Vietnam. Like, I didn't know anything about nothing. Just that Russian roulette's in the movie. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Were you expecting maybe that would be like the climax of the movie or something?
I mean, kind of like knowing that was like the only thing, I kind of figured that it would be like a big theme of the movie maybe, but like, or like maybe happen a few times. But yeah, I figured it would probably be like the climax. Like I figured, like Robert De Niro with like the red headband would be the climax, even though that doesn't ever happen in the movie. But yeah, I had no clue what was going on. I mean, maybe I learned at some point that this is a Vietnam movie. I mean, all movies from the 70s are kind of Vietnam movies, I guess. But yeah, I don't think I remembered that part. But yeah, pretty much all I knew was Russian roulette.
Because I feel like it is a little bit of strange pacing in a way where for me coming into this, I expected that would be okay, that's the big climax of this movie. But it's no, it's kind of right there in the middle of, or even before the middle of the movie, probably an hour in when you get that. And then,
it's kind of weird the way they do it. Cause the first Russian roulette is the most, probably the most viscerally tense and kind of borders on being an action movie. And it's not shot it's exciting necessarily. It's harrowing and it's brutal, but it's heart pumping.
Yeah,
and then you get another one.
It's sweat drenched at least.
Yeah. And then you've got another one later that is kind of more exposition than anything. And then, or kind of signals an act break or something. And then the one at the end is also very sweat drenched, but it's all emotional. It's not the first one's I fear for my life and I fear for the lives of these characters. Or, I would fear for my life if I was in this situation, but I fear for these people. like their lives I fear for, and then the one at the end you're like, I fear for their like sanity, like I fear for their friendship. And, it's like totally different, like the two games.
Or I mean, you could even look at it as like the scale of the first one is like a game between two individuals, and then later on it's almost, they're representatives of humanity itself, where it's like this is a battle between good and evil on a grand scale.
Yeah. Or I mean, a battle for, the future of America kind of too. I mean, it's sort of prescient that way. It's like, I mean, Vietnam like fucking ruined America, like it it was like the time when we figured out, oh, we're not like infallible. We can't just like win World War I and World War II, like, and beat the English like in a war, like to gain our freedom. Like, although we didn't win World War II, that was the Russians. But like, it was like it ruined America. Like it fucked up America. And I feel like this movie was prescient in kind of seeing that. And you could also read that ending as a metaphor for that. Like, would America recover, or is America Christopher Walken going to play Russian roulette constantly until it collapses? Which, spoiler alert, that is what happened to America.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, and I felt that growing up, like even though, you and I, we were both born long after the war ended, I feel like in small towns, in the Northeast, and I'm guessing probably even in Ohio, you really did feel the echoes of the Vietnam War through the 1980s and even in the 90s. Like we had a sizable number of guys roughly my dad's age who were like homeless in the public park in town, or, living in halfway houses, all of whom seemingly had, horrific experiences over there in the war. And, it was a thing that you were kind of like vaguely aware of as a child. And, as you grow up, it becomes more kind of crystallized as to what happened there and like how these fractures were, first emerged, in our society. And this movie does a great job. And you think about it, it's 1978. The war has only been over for a few years, and I feel like this movie is very insightful as to the impact on people coming home from it, which I guess, had probably been happening for a decade already because the war had been going on for so long. But yeah, anyways, back to the story, they play Russian roulette. It's very tense. Eventually, Deniro and John Savage and Walken escape, but they also once again get split up. They lose track of Christopher Walken. Deniro gets back to Pennsylvania eventually. John Savage also gets back to Pennsylvania. They're both kind of scarred in their own ways. Deniro more mentally scarred. Savage has lost both of his legs. And we see kind of what their life is like back in Pennsylvania for a bit, how they're adjusting to their post-war life. And I guess we can spoil this movie. Go see The Deer Hunter if you haven't seen it, because I'm going to talk about the ending of it. They come to find out, or De Niro comes to find out that Walken is still over there in Saigon doing Russian roulette for profit, it seems like. They're getting this money sent to John Savage, who's legless in the hospital. And so then De Niro goes back to Saigon to figure out what the hell's going on with Walken. Leads to a climactic game of Russian roulette. That's about the events of this movie, right?
Yeah, those are basically the events.
Okay. And this is a movie that I love. I'd seen it a couple times before. I had heard about this movie for a long time before finally watching it in my early 30s, about 10 years ago. And I'm glad that I hadn't seen it earlier. I'm not sure that this would have landed fully with me, in my teens or even my 20s. I think it is a movie that requires a little bit of maturity to, fully take in. This week for the show, I started this movie this morning at 4 a.m. And so I've just been kind of living in the mental space of this movie all day. which is maybe not the best place to be living in, especially when the world is kind of crumbling around you. But that was the bed that I made this morning, and I'm sleeping in it. But the movie, I think, really succeeds in delivering a sense of realism. To me, like these towns that we see on screen, because I think it's set in Pennsylvania, but they shot it in a combination of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. But they paint a picture of like a very accurate portrait of at least what my experience felt like growing up in the Northeast. I think if you grew up in the Northeast in, the 70s, 80s, or 90s, probably a lot of this will ring true to you. In terms of the war stuff, they filmed all of it in Thailand. I think this was the first feature film to shoot Vietnam War scenes in Thailand. That would kind of become the de facto place to shoot those going forward. If you were going to spend money beyond, Malibu, which is what a lot of productions would have done at the time, Thailand was probably the most, geographically similar place to Vietnam, and they really take advantage of it. The jungle looks great here. Oh, by the way, the deer hunting scenes are shot in Snoqualmie National Forest, which is also the home of Twin Peaks. So I don't know if any of those specific trees are ones that we see in Twin Peaks, but it is the same forest, so that's cool. And all these different environments look great. DP Vilmos Zsigmond does a great job, whether it's these jungles in Thailand, whether it's the U.S. steel mill furnaces, or that big Orthodox Russian church that they shoot the wedding scene at in the first act, or the foggy mountain tops. They all look great. They all convey like a different mood. And it's a movie that doesn't sugarcoat the war. It doesn't make these guys seem heroic. And I think, a lot of critics at the time missed the point. There was controversy around this movie when it was first released. Like I'm looking at a review here from critic Jonathan Rosenbaum of the Chicago Reader, who says, "It was a disgusting account of what the evil Vietnamese did to poor innocent Americans." And he also calls it an Oscar-laden weepy. And, he's very critical, basically, of Cimino's, what he thinks is racist demonization of, the Vietnamese in this movie. And I feel like that just completely misses the point of, like, what Cimino's trying to say here, of the strengths of this movie. To me, this is not a movie that is about, it is about the Vietnam War, but it isn't about the Vietnam War. It's about war in general. It's about how this war impacted Americans, but it could have been any foreign entity that we were fighting against. There's nothing in here that is about the politics of the war or who was right or wrong in this conflict. I really think the message of the movie just is war is hell, which is, the common message of any anti-war movie. But to call it, anti-Vietnamese or racist, I think is missing the point that I think the real enemy in this movie is not the Vietnamese, but it's the unseen enemy of the U.S. government, and the fact that these wars are being waged, that men are being drafted or men are being, choosing to enlist either way. I think that's the demon on display here.
Yeah, the fact that these guys are like two of them live together in like a studio apartment, basically, right? Like, yeah, these are like guys who work hard at the factory like for 12 hours or whatever, and then come home to absolutely fucking nothing except their like heritage and their culture. Like, so yeah, they're very much like, even though they're not drafted, like they're essentially drafted because it's their only way out of working 80 hours for fucking nothing at a factory. Like, I think that, everything you're saying is correct. And it's very much a theme that, these guys are, whether they're drafted or not, they're drafted because America sucks.
Yeah, and as soon as we get over to Vietnam, the very first thing that we see is a group of like new GIs coming up upon Robert De Niro, who's presumably been there for a little bit, and he's out of his mind. He's not heroic. He's murdering children. He's murdering women. He's lighting already dead corpses aflame. Like this is not a heroic man that we're seeing. This is like a man that has been permanently destroyed by the horrors of war, and like nothing that he's doing is supposed to be heroic. We do, feel for him when he gets abducted and imprisoned, by his captors. But, if the movie was told from the opposite side, I think we would feel for the Vietnamese just as much or probably even more, So I don't know. I think that stuff is all completely off the mark. And I think this movie is subtle in the way that it delivers its messages. And I think there's a lot in here. If you really dwell on it and you think about, some of the things that you're seeing, what they represent, it's the kind of movie that you can watch over and over again as you, kind of grow and progress as a human being. You're going to take more out of it. And, watching it today, I was kind of reflecting on the interesting coincidence, and I'm sure that some scholar has probably written a book about this that I'm not aware of, but it struck me today because I'm watching this and I'm watching these guys get shipped off, these working class guys, like America's underclass, the guys making things in this country. Specifically, these are the guys making things at the very time that we are like shipping off all of the manufacturing out of America. It felt like there was like a simultaneous like sieve of like, okay, well, we can also like, if we don't need this underclass, maybe we can just bleed out some of them like through this war. And it is, if you look at the timing of it, it's crazy where it's like the men who were drafted into Vietnam, their birth years correlate almost perfectly with the baby boom of post-war World War II. So it's like, these poor guys got back from the last war. They knocked up their wives. It produced all these poor kids. We needed them for a little bit to help rebuild the country. We put them to work in their factories. Once we were done with that, we were like, all right, we don't need you guys in the factories anymore. We're going to move those out to some other country. So let's just ship all of you guys off and dwindle the numbers of all these poor young men. Which, who knows, like, what level of intent there is. I don't think that there was, I don't think Nixon was, in the White House specifically drawing up a map of like, well, the birth rate went up in 1945, so we're going to make sure that but I mean, the net result is like, that's what happened.
I feel like that kind of happens throughout history too. Like we had like the industrial boom of like the 1880s, 1890s, and then World War One killed 80 bazillion people, and like maybe that's just like a thing that happens from time to time, like some sort of weird sociological thing where we've got prosperity and then now everybody's going to die for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the option was for the rich to spread their wealth a little bit, with the underclass, or just kill off the underclass, I think it was an easy choice for the rich.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I'm sad that people like Jonathan Rosenbaum didn't get this movie, because I think there's a lot of really subtle commentary on war's impact here, and some not so subtle. I mean, it's pretty easy to pick up that that's the general vibe of the whole movie. What else about this? It's tough to it's kind of tough to heap unique praise on this movie that everybody knows and loves and has been talking about for the past 50 years. But I feel like lately we've been watching a lot of movies that kind of remind me of this. So I wanted to make sure that we covered the OG. Oh, and also I wanted to make sure that we covered a movie within what I would say is maybe the most legendary run of hanging dong on screen by De Niro here. We do get a nice scene in this where he's running around town buck naked, and I think he like lays down in a parking lot or something fully nude. And yeah, I mean, you don't get like a close up of the hog or anything, but if you got those 4K pixels, I think you can make it work for yourself. But I was wondering, watching that dong run around rural Pennsylvania, does De Niro have the highest on-screen dong count? And like, don't even try and look on Letterboxd for an answer for this. I don't think those stats are available yet. But if we if you really break it down, like for non-porno movies, like for real ass movies that got like a wide release, I think De Niro's up there, man, for hanging dong on screen. What do you think?
When else did he hang? When all did he hang dong?
Well, there's that Bernardo Bertolucci movie where he gets jacked off, right?
What?
Was it 1900 or something? It's like him and another like young like teenage boy. They're like jacking each other off, right?
My goodness, I don't know anything about that movie.
And then his dong is out there, man.
Okay, I believe you. In Meet the Fockers too, I know he hangs dong.
Does he really?
No, that's just a joke because it's like a family comedy, you know.
All right, I'm on azmen.com, which is the male equivalent of aznude.com.
All right,
we got Robert De Niro, the ultimate nude and sexy collection. Okay. We see his dick in Dirty Grandpa. Probably a prosthetic. I don't know, though. That looks like it might be really his dick. We see his dick in The Big Wedding from 2013. Looks maybe not a dick, but just kind of a sexy pic in Righteous Kill from 2008. But let's go back further in time. Frankenstein, 1994. He's hanging dong. Cape Fear, 91.
Oh, yeah.
You better believe he's hanging dong. Actually, maybe not full dong, but like he's wearing a G-string or something. A very revealing thong in Cape Fear.
Okay.
The Last Tycoon. He's hanging some dong. Taxi Driver, shirtless. That's all. That's all you get in Taxi Driver. But yeah, 1900. That's the movie. It's him and some other dude. They're both getting jacked off by a girl in this movie. And you can see their dongs. And you can see their dongs getting jacked. Which that's a rarity, man.
That is rare. What a wild time to be alive.
Yeah, 1976. But he's got to keep it flaccid the whole time, you know, to not violate MPAA rules. So you got these two guys grinning while their limp dicks are getting jerked by I'll say it, attractive European woman. People talk a lot about De Niro's acting abilities. I don't remember the last time somebody proclaimed how great he was at keeping flaccid while getting jerked off by a hot lady, but that's something, dude, right? That falls under the category of acting.
Yeah, that's good acting.
Bloody Mama, 1970, he hangs dong. And then Greetings from 1968, does he hang dong in that?
It's possible. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I gotta skip this ad. I got some twink gyrating his buttocks at me. Let's see. I think he's just in bed with a woman, but it looks like no nudity, actually. Man, how did that get on azmen.com? De Niro in bed with a woman? And he's just shirtless? I thought they had better standards. Anyways, they only give him 3 3/4 stars on azmen.com. I would have given him a better ranking.
Yeah, that's rude. He's the GOAT.
Anywho, that mystery is solved. De Niro certainly in the running for top dong dropper. And yeah, I love this movie. What about you, Bowman?
I had never seen this movie, but I've always wanted to. I like a lot of the actors in here. I like Russian Roulette. I like movies that are, classic canon movies. Canon in terms of like being, canonically the greatest of all time kind of stuff. So I was excited to see this, but that 3-hour runtime had me a little hazy. So I sat down Monday night and I was like, I'll watch like the first half tonight and then watch the second half tomorrow.
Oh boy,
I'll break
I think
this up a little.
that might be a big mistake. I'm hoping that this story ends with, but I started it and I couldn't stop it. Because
Well,
if
I started
you
it and then I could.
if you pause this movie like at the end of the wedding, nothing has happened in this damn movie. You probably hate it at that point.
Well, yeah. So that is a good point. So, yeah. So watching that big wedding, like that fucking thing takes forever. Like,
Yeah. Well, it comes out in the shadow of The Godfather. That was the style of the day. You had a big wedding.
I was thinking that, like, because yeah, The Godfather and Godfather 2 opened with a big wedding, and I was thinking like, are they A24ing us? Like, are they just kind of using something that worked as like a template and kind of running it back and doing it again? You know?
Yeah.
Which maybe they were, but
I feel like Heaven's Gate, his next movie, might also open with like a 1 hour long wedding, but maybe I'm misremembering it.
I've never seen that one. That would be weird. But, you know, it's like not unenjoyable, the wedding, like in a vacuum. Like, it just kind of like goes on forever. Like, there's not a lot of dialogue to a lot of it either. Like, it's like kind of just like real super slice of life stuff, which, depending on how much you like that kind of stuff, you know, probably weighs on how much you like this movie, or at least
But
the
it
first
helps
half of
that
this
you
movie.
love all these actors, so you know
It does.
It's fun to hang out with Robert De Niro at a wedding, whether or not he's hanging dong.
Yeah, that's true. But and like I wasn't like bored through it or anything. Like like having watched the entire movie though, like I feel like you could trim that wedding scene. Like I didn't necessarily think that while I was watching it. Like I wasn't like, oh, hurry up with the wedding. Like, but after having seen it, knowing why the wedding is there, and like it being sort of the juxtaposition of like, look at these happy-go-lucky American young people, like, and then smash cut to them burning children alive. Like, I get it. So, but it could be half the time or so. Like you don't need all of it to hammer that home, I don't think. But it's sort of like with like Sorcerer, like you could cut some of those stories at the first half of that movie and not lose the effect of them being there at all, like kind of a thing. But
sometimes like that technique feels a little bit like a cheat of like, I don't know, like it makes the rest of the film seem all that much more exciting when you've sat through an hour of nothing happening.
I think that's true for sure. Like, yeah, when the most nail biting thing that happens in the first half is like one of the bridesmaids has like an abusive dad or whatever, or boyfriend or whoever that is. Like, yeah, then when you're, you know, shooting Vietnamese people to escape from, you know, being drowned alive or, you know, being forced to play Russian roulette, it is all the more exciting if you've sat through, you know, an hour of people dancing and wearing weird Russian Orthodox crowns and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I've got a big complaint about this movie. It's not a big complaint, but it's like kind of my only complaint because this movie's like pretty perfect. You know, it's like pretty great. But it is sort of, I don't think the Discord's going to like this opinion. Maybe, I don't know.
Yikes. Be careful. Don't rile them up.
I might rile people up with this opinion.
Okay.
At least in the first half. This doesn't apply to the whole movie. I don't like Robert De Niro. I think he's miscast as like a blue collar guy from Pennsylvania.
Even with the dong that he hangs.
Even with the dong, he's certainly not Russian American. Like none of these guys are, but like he's very obviously a man named De Niro. Like,
yeah.
And I get that was the style of the time. You know, like I understand that John Wayne played Genghis Khan and everything, but it takes me out. Like, I mean, it does feel like even like the outfit he wears at the beginning, like he's wearing like a flannel shirt and then like one of those like puffy like life preserver vests over it and like a beanie or something. Like it just feels like cosplay kind of on him. Like I just really don't get him as this character in the first half.
Okay. I don't agree, but I think I might be too far in the bag for De Niro, where like especially at this point in time, man, like he is so electric that I might not have the proper vantage point to actually be critical of the man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a guy who's been in a bunch of my favorite movies and has played like 5 of my favorite characters ever put on film. So maybe I just like have too high of a standard for him or something. But I felt that during the movie. Another thing that I felt is like, you know, Vietnam was a thing. And these characters, like, I don't know how old these characters are supposed to be. It feels like they should be like 21-year-old guys who are enlisting and, you know, and roughhousing and getting drunk and grab-assing and, you know, running down the street naked. Like, these guys should be 21. But all these actors are like 35, 40 years old. Yeah. So that's a disconnect too, I think.
I mean, that happens. And that's in films, that's kind of common, right?
Well, in Japan, it's common for sure. I mean, yeah, I guess that is sort of unescapable for the time, but you know, it was just a few short years later that what's that? Oliver Stone, Platoon, like that had actual young people in the roles.
Yeah.
Like, it could
Charlie
happen.
Sheen and
you
stuff.
Could do it. Yeah, you could do it.
But they're also playing 2 different time periods here. Like at the end of the movie, I think is
that's true.
Almost 10 years after the beginning of the movie. So
no, it's like
I think so. I think it's like 8 years later.
Is it 8 years?
Yeah.
Well, Robert De Niro gets back from Vietnam and then goes back to get Christopher Walken like not that long later, I think. So I guess it depends on how long they were in the war.
I think that they were imprisoned for multiple years.
Okay. That could be. It didn't read that way. I'll look into it. But all right, yeah. If this takes place over multiple years, then that works. I got the feeling that it was like kind of like over the course of a few months or something, but maybe I'm wrong.
Take this with a grain of salt because I got no other source on it, but IMDb's trivia says the film takes place in 1967, 68, and 75. So it's like an 8-year span.
Man, well, if they leave Christopher Walken in Vietnam for like 8 years, I would have trouble buying that. Like, you telling me this guy's out there winning Russian roulette tournaments every night for 8 fucking years? Like, that's pretty goddamn lucky.
Yeah, that's a pretty miraculous run. I mean, at that point, I think that you would want to bring in, like, you know, some kind of, like, supernatural investigator or something, you know, like, that's going to be solved.
Yeah, maybe that's counting like the very end. Well, the very end scene takes place right after the funeral, maybe? Like where they're singing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to look at the script. I'm going to have to consult my script supervisor. But
either way, I mean, I get it. But, you know, everybody in this is too old for their parts. I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, you're talking about some of the greatest actors in the history of acting. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Let them be slightly old. It's fine.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why it's forgivable. Because they are very good. And then in the second half, like Robert De Niro sells what happens to him in the second act. He sells that character. Christopher Walken, obviously, is wonderful.
That moment when De Niro can't like handle the fact that there's like a coming home party and he slinks down in the car. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking stuff.
I agree. The survivor's guilt is his character probably has like survivor's guilt and PTSD before we even like had words for those things. So that's interesting. I think Christopher seeing Christopher Walken in this is really good because he's like, I mean, he's cracked up. Like he's like a man who's going insane until he becomes like comatose from so much going insane, like, which is really atypical for Christopher Walken because he usually plays like such a cool cucumber, you know, like I feel like he's always like a cool, like calm, collected guy in movies, you know, like in True Romance, you know, he's like this guy, Dennis Hopper insults him, gives him this, you know, this insult, and he just plays it cool, you know, like
in Fat Boy Slim, he's just tap dancing on that office table.
Yeah, he's just tap dancing. Like I feel like that's kind of his persona, is like just kind of a cool guy for the most part, maybe. I mean, maybe early in his career, not so much, because like there's also The Dead Zone where he's kind of a crazy guy. But like, maybe I'm just like going by his later stuff. But yeah, so like it's a little atypical for Christopher Walken, a new, different way to look at him. He's great. All the Russian roulette scenes are like insane. Like they're so tense. It's like a very cinematic thing, Russian roulette, you know, like, you know, like there's just like built-in tension to it. Like the payoff is loud. It's, you know, blood's everywhere. You know, the actors can really sell it. Like everything about it is like works on screen. You know, like the guy who's in charge, like rolling the barrel and showing everybody the bullets and stuff. Like everything about it is just like, it works. Like you don't even need words. Like you don't need dialogue. You know, like everything like is just clear about what's happening.
You get those cool kind of like process shots of, you know, bullets being loaded and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess in at least one case, there were live bullets in those guns. Did you read that? You know about that?
No, I did not read that.
I guess Deniro, in his scene with John Cazale, you know, later on he does a quick little quote-unquote game of Russian roulette where he basically, you know, points the loaded, but, you know, not fully loaded, semi-loaded gun at Cazale's head, pulls the trigger. It had a live round in there.
Jesus. What?
What the fuck? They checked to make sure that it was not the next bullet, but they would put it in there and spin it and then check. And then as long as it wasn't the next one, then they would do it. So, hey, Cazale had fatal lung cancer at the time, so wouldn't have been a massive loss, but.
Yeah. If I get fatal lung cancer, like, shoot me on camera. Like, get some production value out of me.
Oh, yeah. If you get fatal lung cancer, we're going to restart the Jackass franchise and set it in Visalia. You're going to be the first guy to die of a poop cannon incident.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
But also the other scenes with the other people doing Russian roulette, I guess, you know, the slaps were fast, furious, and in a lot of cases, like unannounced, you know, like when they would get slapped, they didn't know it was going to happen. And so they, you know, some of those reactions are genuine.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it. Yeah. I like that ending a good deal. Like, I mean, it's like the very end where they're singing that song. Like on one hand, it's like a little on the nose, but like on the other hand, like I like the juxtaposition of like the characters, like singing this God Bless America song, like genuinely, and then the movie kind of portraying it ironically. Like,
yeah,
I like that. I like the two ways that it works.
On the nose today, maybe, but at the time, critics were completely baffled by it. Like, there's a bunch of reviews where critics are like, I can't tell what he's trying to say here with this God Bless America. Is this ironic or not? Or is this movie like a pro-fascist movie? It's like, no, not really, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did kind of give like I saw that he gave like a kind of a wishy-washy answer as to whether or not it's ironic. Where,
well, don't make a director explain his art.
Yeah, it feels clear to me that the movie's doing it ironically and the characters are doing it genuinely. But I mean, I mean, that's just like my reading of
Yeah,
it. Like,
it's
I feel
absolutely that, and it can be
Yeah.
both simultaneously. You know what I mean? Like, there's not like a hard dividing line between irony and reality.
yeah,
It's all intertwined.
yeah. But I mean, if you wanted to read it differently, you certainly could. And I think that's what's great about like the final Russian roulette game is like, there's a lot of different ways to read what happens at the very end with Christopher Walken like smiling and seeming to recognize his friend and then pulling the trigger. Like you could say like, oh, he realized and then wanted to finish the game or whatever, or like he realized it was his friend and didn't know where he was and just kind of accidentally pulled the trigger. There's like a few different ways of like, did he actually recognize him? Like, did he come out of his fugue state? Was it like permanent? Like if he hadn't died, like, I don't know, like there's a bunch of different ways to kind of like read that scene, I think. And I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to read kind of everything in this movie. I think that's why it's so effective, even though, which isn't to say the director doesn't have like a clear vision, because he does, but he just like kind of leaves things open and breathing, like, which I think is what's good about it.
I also got the sense that, and maybe this is just me seeing JFK in everything, but I feel like that ending had an element of Jackie consoling the fatally headshot John Kennedy in the car, the way that they framed it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. And I mean, like, just like the metaphor of the Russian roulette, like, is so good. Like, I mean, I'm sure it felt like Russian roulette, like if you were getting fucking drafted or not. Like, oh, cool, I got a letter in the mail that said I have to go fucking die. Great news. Like, and then like even once you're there, like it's kind of Russian roulette. Like, a bunch of people die. It's like kind of just random who dies and who gets to come home kind of stuff, which is why Deniro has so much survivor's guilt. Like, such a good metaphor for the movie. But is it a joke that these guys are Russian American and that they play Russian roulette? Like, is there anything with that, or like, is that like the whole thing? Like, why is that why they're Russian in this movie? Like,
I don't know. I mean, they do, I think, deliberately establish them as being Russian. Like that, and like there's a lot of signifiers of that. Like they're at the Russian Orthodox Church. I think somebody even mentions at one point, oh, that's a Russian last name.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like there would be any other reason for that, right? So it must be, if not like a joke, but it's some kind of ironic foreshadowing or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that there had to be some connection there. I mean, there's also like Vietnam was basically just like a proxy war where we were at war with Russia, kind of. Like, so I mean, like maybe they're playing into that too, but like, yeah, it felt like too much of a coincidence for them to be Russian, and then the movie's about Russian roulette. But yeah, this movie is great. This movie is, it's pretty much a masterpiece. Pretty great.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed The Deer Hunter. Hopefully not too depressing. It's not really a summer blockbuster, romp necessarily, but an important movie that I think everybody should see.
Certainly.
The new 4K looks nice, I'll say, although it is very dark. And this is something that's happening a lot lately with these 4K releases. Happened with the Friday the 13th 4K. A very dark treatment. And people are telling me that this was Vilmos Zsigmond's intent, that this is how it's supposed to look, but if you compare it to the Blu-ray, man, I don't know. I think the Russian roulette scene in the jungle, the first one, I like it better when you can see what the actors are doing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I watched it in like 1080p, I think, probably, or 720, whatever DVD quality is. I think I rented it in that quality, so it looked good to me.
Okay. All right, well,
I could tell what people were doing. I don't know what the 4K looks like, but
yeah, it's a lot darker. And you might have, I mean, if you've never seen it before, you probably wouldn't notice, but I think even then you might have noticed, like, hey, these scenes look kind of weirdly dark, but that's the style these days. But yeah, great movie. Worth reading trivia on IMDb if you want to hear all these wild stories about the production of it. Actually, there's a bit of trivia here that says the scene in which Deniro requested a live bullet be used for Russian roulette inspired Alec Baldwin to get into film directing. That's interesting trivia.
I see what you're saying.
Anyhow.
Well, speaking of movies, speaking of Blu-rays and 4Ks, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to put a link in here. It's a list on Letterboxd. Now, when you get this list, I'm going to need you to go up to the little corner thing and click the Fade Watched Films button, right? And then, because you don't need to pay attention to the movies you've seen. But what you need to pay attention to is the movies you haven't seen. And then I need you to pick a movie. Now, there are a lot of movies on this list. So it might take you a second, but this is my Blu-ray and 4K collection.
Oh,
so
wow.
I need you to pick a movie you haven't seen from it, and we'll watch that movie.
Well, first I have to do a little security check. I need to verify that I'm a human with Cloudflare.
Oh, yeah, Letterboxd always makes me do that shit.
That's new. They never made me do this shit before. And now I need to log in. So let's do that.
Oh, my God. You're not just constantly logged in?
These motherfuckers log me out all the time. I tell them to remember me. I guess I'm not that memorable. Okay, I've faded these puppies. So
all right.
What's my deal here? I'm just picking whatever I want to watch?
Yeah, anything you've not seen before. Or I guess anything we haven't done on the show. I guess maybe if you've seen it before, that's fine, as long as we haven't done it on any of the shows. But preferably maybe something you haven't seen you're interested in. There's a lot of movies to kind of browse through.
Wait, so you do have a copy of Beyond the Gates on Blu-ray and you never gave me one?
I mean, I have one. Did Jackson not give you one?
No, he never gave me one.
Jackson,
you gotta give me one.
What are you doing? I'll burn it for you. How about that? How about that, Jackson?
Yeah.
Gonna pirate this. Jeezy Pete not giving one to Sean.
All right, so I'm looking at this list. What an impressive Blu-ray collection.
I do have a lot of Blu-rays.
You got Blow Up and you got Blow Out.
I got the 2 blows. And I got 400 blows.
Do you have Blow? Just the movie Blow?
No, I've got it on DVD, though.
Okay, I'm looking through. Now I'm down to the part where it's movies I have not seen. Because what I did was I sorted these by my rating.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That puts all the ones I haven't rated together.
Oh, that's perfect. That's the way to do it.
Huh, I never rated The Departed. That's weird.
That is pretty weird.
2006. You got plenty of movies.
Some of these are a little
here.
obscure. So I don't know if we could... Some of these might be a little hard to find if you pick them for you. I own the DVDs. They're the Blu-rays, so maybe not for me. But I mean, a lot of these are like pretty readily available. There's nothing too crazy, I don't think.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you seen all of these? Probably you haven't seen all of these, right?
I've seen 88% of these.
Have you seen all of these Hitchcocks?
I have not, no. That's probably the brunt of ones I have not seen.
I kind of want to see these late Hitchcocks. And I would love an excuse to do, Marnie or Family Plot or one of these,
Oh, I've never seen Family Plot. I have seen Marnie.
So you got Marnie, Torn Curtain, Topaz, and Family Plot. These are the ones that I've not seen.
Okay. All fine choices that I've not seen. I don't even think I've got them as part of that big Hitchcock box set, which I don't think I've opened because I also own Vertigo and Psycho like by themselves. So I've never had to open it yet because I watch those movies over and over.
Okay, well, let's just do Family Plot. What do you think?
Family Plot sounds good to me.
I've heard good things about it. I know that former guest of the show, Joe Rubin's a fan.
Okay. Spiritualist Blanche Tyler and her cab-driving boyfriend encounter a pair of serial kidnappers while trailing a missing heir in California. Starring Karen Black and Bruce Dern. Perfect.
All right. That'll be next week? Or that'll be in 2 weeks?
2 weeks? Oh, yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah.
Is that right? Next week's going to be Junk Food Dinner with Kevin Moss, right?
Yeah. We're doing Cannonball Run Part 2.
We will not be reviewing I Woke Up Early the Day I Died.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We're not doing that.
Kevin Moss had previously selected that as his pick for next week, but he had also previously selected that as his pick like 2 years ago or 3 years ago or something. So we'll be doing something else. Do you remember what the other one was?
I do not, but it's your pick is the other one, so I feel like you should remember.
What do you mean my pick is the other one?
Well, I picked Cannonball Run 2. And
yeah, you picked Cannonball Run 2 from 1983. I picked Mermaid Legend from 1984. But what was Kevin's replacement pick?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
For I Woke Up Early the Day that I died.
Oh, it was that fucking thing. I made it. Oh my God.
Was it like Replicator or something? You probably picked Replicator.
Oh, I wish it was Replicator. Ladybug.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. The Frank Perry movie. Let me just go ahead and update our little list right here.
Yeah, I wanted him to do Ladybugs because that fucking movie is so fucking funny to me.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I'd be willing to go back.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do it soon. Actually, when does the World Cup's almost over though? Oh, that would have been perfect programming for the World Cup. It's about soccer.
I think it's still happening next week, right? Or no? Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe sometime between now and then, I might decide on ditching Cannonball Run and doing Ladybugs.
All right. Well, that'll be coming up at some point. And then the week after next, we've settled on Family Plot. So exciting things coming down the pipeline from Junk Food Supper, Junk Food Dinner, all your junk food friends. Until next time, this is your friend, Sen Biro, telling you to do all the things. Go to junkfooddinner.com. Go to youtube.com/junkfooddinner. Send us an email at jftpodcast@gmail.com. Send us a junk mail. We didn't get any this week, but hopefully we'll get some next week at 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Just put it in your phone already. Just add it to your contact list. And we're also on Patreon, patreon.com/junkfooddinner. Thank you to the patrons who do support us. We see you. We appreciate it. Honestly, on some days, it's the only thing that keeps us going. And so we are very thankful for that. But until next time, this is your friend Sen Biro for other friend Perky Beantown Bowman, saying, keep washing them dishes.
We're going to talk now about The Deer Hunter, one of the most important American movies of recent years, and also one of the most emotionally overpowering. It's about the war in Vietnam, but it isn't really for the war and it's not against the war. It's more about how the war entered into the lives of a lot of Americans and changed some of them forever. It begins early one morning when a crowd of good friends finish up with an all-night shift at the steel mill, go to have a few beers at the saloon down the street, and this is going to be a big day for them. It's their last day at work, they've enlisted in the Army, and one of them is going to get married in a few hours. You can tell which one the groom is when his mother comes in and hauls him off the bar stool. I spent Saturday night like that myself. That sort of camaraderie, that singing along and hanging out and sticking together is developed in a long and brilliant wedding scene. We saw a fragment of it at the beginning of the show, and there's a real sense of celebration there, a real community. But then the Deer Hunter cuts abruptly to the reality of Vietnam and to a prisoner of war camp where the Viet Cong is forcing American and South Vietnamese prisoners to play Russian roulette while they gamble on who will be the first to blow his brains out. For Robert Deniro and his friends, the time for singing is over. That's Christopher Walken, and the other one of the three friends is played by John Savage. The physical pain and mental dread is so real there that it gives you an idea of the impact this movie has. It's not just a war story, it's not just a movie, it's an experience. It's one that touches people in the audience so deeply that some of them can't take it. They've got to turn their eyes away from the screen, and I couldn't really blame them. The Deer Hunter isn't a perfect film. It raises some questions it doesn't answer. It's got some loose ends, but logic and perfection aren't what you look for in a movie that basically exists on the level of emotion and raw human feeling, and it's been a long time, Gene, since a movie has affected me so deeply.
It got to me too. Very powerful. I think what I admire most about this picture is its sheer size. This is a really big film on the level of The Godfather. Big films in America normally mean exploding buildings. This is a film of very powerful ideas, strong personalities. The first hour of this 3-hour movie is all about this steel town and the people who inhabit it. It's really a loving portrait of working class people. If the film had ended there, it would have been a great movie.
You're right.
Then we get to Vietnam, and in about 30 minutes, this director, Michael Cimino, compresses the Vietnam combat experience. You just showed a clip on that prisoner of war sequence. Well, now we have another clip, because after escaping from that prisoner of war camp, Christopher Walken, in a memorable scene, sums up what a lot of combat veterans must feel. At a hospital in Vietnam, Walken is totally in shock. He won an Academy Award nomination for his performance, and this is a scene that probably did it. That's powerful stuff, and it's impressive. Christopher Walken there, it's impressive seeing him develop some real feeling by not talking. He's just one of the fresh faces in the film. I was really impressed by the picture. It's like seeing a big novel or reading a big novel. Very impressive.
Kind of like The Godfather, which also had Deniro in it, I guess, in Godfather Part 2. A real gallery of characters, a lot of depth. You know, a lot of people have asked me, okay, wonderful, the film got 9 Academy Award nominations, Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor. How come it isn't playing in my town? Because in most of the United States, it's only now opening. And that was the result of a decision by Universal, the studio that made it. They didn't know if America was ready yet for a big, heavy 3-hour drama about the Vietnam experience, and so they opened the picture in Los Angeles and New York to get the Oscar nominations. Now they've got the nominations. Now the picture is opening throughout the country, and I think we're in agreement on this, that it is the picture to see right now. Know that The Deer Hunter is one of the finest films of the year. 2 strong yeses for that one. Don't miss it.
Well, anyway, the nominees for Outstanding Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role are Bruce Dern in Coming Home,
Richard Farnsworth in Comes a Horseman,
John Hurt in Midnight Express,
Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter,
and Jack Warden in Heaven Can Wait.
and the winner is Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter.
Thank you, Michael. I'm very happy to have this. I salute Michael Cimino with this Oscar here tonight. And I'd like to add my thanks to the members of the Academy and to Mr. Robert De Niro. Thank you all